No matter how high-tech, highfalutin, lazy, or foo-foo America gets, we will never stop hunting and fishing. This is the Hunting Quest. We take 1 hour of every week and talk about our favorite things in the world, hunting and fishing. You'll get tips and help on the fishing environment locally in the DMV area. Plus, we're going to have fun along the way. This is the Hunting Quest. And now your host, Mike Tippin and Bennett Malin.
Damn, dude, first try.
Hey, look at there. That's
I'm
awesome.
I'm getting good at this.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Only now you had to just remember to look up so we can see, and you're not doing this number.
Anyways, happy Friday.
Happy Friday. It's good spending some time with you.
Oh yeah, as always. We're you ready for this storm this weekend?
I am. Not really. I wanted to go shooting. I need to zero
Same.
in 4 rifles.
Dude, my buddy hit me up when we were doing the pre-podcast stuff, and he was like, "Hey, you want to go duck hunt Saturday?" I was like, "Have you looked at the weather?" Absolutely not. He's like, "It's only going to be a 19-mile-an-hour wind." I was like, "Yeah, and like 4 inches of rain. We're getting hit by a hurricane, dog. No, I'm not going duck hunting this weekend. Absolutely not. Fucking crazy, dude.
I bet
Absolutely
the teal will
crazy.
be flying.
Yeah, out of the creek. Down to North Carolina.
Yep.
Gone.
Somewhere other than here.
Yeah, not to the blind.
Ah. All right.
Yeah. So, sorry. Crap popping up all over the place.
Yeah, see
So,
that.
we're joined tonight, Mr. Mikey,
Yeah.
with a pretty good friend of yours, I think.
Yeah, I've known her since she was like before she was born.
So, we're joined tonight with Miss Kamryn Brock. Kamryn, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Living the dream.
If I was any better, there'd be 2 of me with a beer.
Whoa. Whoa.
No whiskey tonight. No
Mikey
whiskey.
with all the catchphrases.
Yeah, no whiskey tonight. Anyway,
so hold on. I'm gonna kick this one off because I have
Yeah,
a question. So before we started, and all week leading up to this, Mikey's been calling you by another name. And what
I didn't do this.
what is that name, Mike?
Oh, I'm not saying it. Oh, I'm not getting into this. No. I'll let her tell that story.
All right,
she
fair
wants.
enough.
So, Miss
So
Kamryn,
my nickname is Worm.
how'd you get that?
How
nickname?
did that come about?
So when I was a baby, supposedly my dad said I was like a wiggle worm, and when he would hold me, I would just squirm around. So it picked up Worm, and it has literally followed me for 26 years.
Yeah.
I was really hoping it was gonna be something crazy. Like you started talking about when you were a baby. I was like, oh, please tell me they like put her down in the grass and she picked up a worm and ate it, or like something wild. That would have been insane.
You know, you should have just left that to people's imagination. How did she get that nickname? That would have been a good one.
That was the first thing I thought was like, surely she was like a little kid and like ate a worm or something. Like that's how you get nicknames like that stick with you forever.
Well, and here's the other thing too, though, is if you know her daddy, Joey Brock is not above eating a worm, I would think, at some point, at some way, I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah. But well, let's get into that right away. All right, your last name is Brock, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And that name carries a lot of weight in Flomaton, Alabama, in Northwest Florida, with most of the game wardens. No, I'm joking.
Mikey, we don't talk about game wardens, right?
We don't. Not
It's
in
like
a
the
negative
monsters
context.
under the bed. If you don't look at them, they don't look at you.
They
They're
don't
not
look at you.
real.
They're not real. They're not real. So that's a pretty. I mean that's a pretty legendary name in that area. I mean, you got a lot of family, right?
Yeah.
And so you got to tell us, obviously, with the last name of Brock, you've got, your daddy being Joey Brock, your uncle, who I won't tell everybody his name, but his last name ends in Brock as well. And of course your pawpaw being, the one, the only Mr. Brock, and I will not call him by his first name. What, what, what in the world is that like?
It's a lot, but it's a great feeling, I guess, to live where I live at. I'm obviously a female, so around here, it's a little more typical to have females that hunt around here. But when I first started, like growing up, it wasn't what it is now, I guess you could say. So it's kind of a big deal to have the Brock name. A lot of people know them for hunting and stuff. It's a big title to kind of hold up, but I love it. I love it.
And now here's the cool thing is you hold your own, I think.
Absolutely.
There you go. There you go. So I mean, so for everybody who doesn't know, her granddad, is a man who single-handedly, I mean, her whole family is, pretty much, they taught me how to hunt. And, I'm so incredibly thankful that they took the time to teach me, what it's like to be out in the woods, what it's like to go catch fish. I mean, we had a little catfish pond behind a trailer up in Franklin, Alabama. And, if you weren't hunting, you were fishing, and, you were feeding dogs, or you're doing something. It was always something. And, I'm so unbelievably thankful for your family and the opportunities that they gave me to be able to understand, being outside, doing this safely, doing something that I absolutely love. And I hope, I try to tell them as many times and as often times as possible that I am that thankful. But, I'll tell you, because you hold that same last name, I am incredibly thankful for your family, and so proud to be, to know them and be a part of them, and all that wonderful stuff. So, but you being kind of like the female of the bunch and the odd duck. Now you have Aunt Cheryl. I mean, she's a badass too. So, she doesn't put up with crap from nobody either. So,
No.
but so you get out there and you get after it. I mean, you hunt, you fish. What do you like doing? What's your favorite thing? You more of a hunter? You more of a fisherman? What do you like?
I am more of a hunter. Unfortunately, I don't fish as much as I used to. I guess most of my fishing was probably growing up and being at Granny and Papa's house, and you got bored and you played outside, and we went fishing. We went to the catfish pond and used hot dog weenies and caught catfish because Granny wanted some fish for to cook for that night. So I don't fish as much as I would like to, but hunting's got my heart for sure.
Yeah. And you're kind of a badass at it. So,
Thank you.
I'll tell you that much. I think, I mean, granted, you got the Brock last name, so you don't have any other choice. It's in your DNA. And now your kids, you got two kids with, and they're, they've got that Brock DNA as well. And I can't imagine what those kids are going to turn out to be, but they're absolutely adorable. I don't know. I called the one little sack of taters forever, but he's 4. I can't call him little sack of taters anymore. So, but, so you hunt, you've shot deer, obviously. You shot a lot of ducks. What's your favorite? Ducks, geese, turkeys? What's your world?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, probably duck hunting.
Think so?
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the best hunting there is.
Well, her brother Kobe would disagree. I think he is a turkey killing machine.
He is a turkey fool.
Oh man, yeah. That's what
All
Kobe's messaging. He said, "Look at my sister."
Kobe's a turkey killing machine though. So that's it.
He is.
So duck hunting, huh? What is it for duck hunting for you? What is it that you've got there?
With duck hunting, it's the thrill. I feel like it's a constant thrill. With deer hunting, you get the thrill, but it's more of you don't really get that thrill until you see something coming. Ducks, I mean, I feel like there's constantly, for the most part, you've got some type of action going on. Um, it just keeps you excited. I mean, you see just a wad of greenheads or a big flock of geese, and I mean, you can hear them coming before you see them, and your heart starts pounding. It's the thrill that I get from it. Just I stay excited the whole time. Whereas deer hunting, I love deer hunting and I get excited for it, but it's more of a patient wait for that one.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. I do. I think, I don't know. Benny and I've kind of talked about this before too, is I think duck hunting is more of kind of like a camaraderie type thing. Whereas, deer hunting, there's not a lot of folks who really, I mean, you don't go and sit in a stand with a lot of folks, you do when you're a kid, but you don't do it until you don't do it when you're a little bit older. So,
Yeah.
You're
but
not
you can
sitting there
talk.
making breakfast or, making fun of someone's face paint or whatever the case is. We're always giving each other crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said about that.
I think the kind of what Kamryn was saying with just constantly being excited is most of the time there's always something flying around. It may not necessarily be a duck or a goose, but you could be standing there talking to your buddy and shooting the crap, and all of a sudden you see a seagull move out of the corner of your eye. And you're like, whoa! And everyone gets excited for a second. And you're like, oh, shit. No, that's just a seagull.
Just a Tweety bird.
What did we see? Oh, dude, like 2 weeks ago, we're goose hunting out on the river, and we ended up being a cormorant. But we see this bird coming, and all of a sudden it locks up and turns, and it is just sailing straight to us. And we're like, oh my God. Oh my God. It's doing it so filthy. We're like, oh my God. Like, we're not calling nothing. We're like, dude, this goose is going to commit. It's already committed like 800 yards up the creek. And we're like watching it. We're like, all right, get ready. Shoot. No. We're like, oh God. And it like turns and flies. We're like,
don't hit that. Don't hit that. God. Yeah. It's a bad day. Waiting to happen
that'd be
right
nasty.
there.
Ugh. No, sir.
So Benny's Benny's guiding. I think I've told a lot of people that, but he's a duck guide, here on the East Coast. He's never really seen Kansas ever. Like he's hunted out there like for a day, like supposed to be a lot better than that. And he's never seen Kansas. Like you pop up and there's 100 greenheads in front of you and you limit out in 45 minutes, so he's used to, and I honestly, I had to get used to it here on the East Coast when I go hunting with him. There's a lot of buffle heads. There's a lot of really quick shots where, these ducks are just kind of swinging in instead of just, coming into the decoys and, decoying in. These ducks are just happen to be flying by at the wrong time. I call them dumb ducks, kind of like dumb turkeys, but dumb ducks. No, and I think that's, the exciting part. You get these people sitting there just, you get a good call going. And you're watching people, watching the ducks work, and there's something about it. It's just exceptional. So I think anyway.
I love it. It drives me wild.
Yeah.
Drives absolutely wild.
Almost as bad as that Auburn shirt. God. Almost as bad as that Auburn shirt.
I'm going to buy a Texas shirt.
You go ahead.
I'm buying a Longhorn
go ahead. You go ahead. Oh man. So you get out there, you duck hunt. What do you shoot? What's your gun? What's your choice?
You're probably going to make fun of me.
I will.
I shoot a Fronchi, and everybody's like, really? I love it. Dude, I have a awesome. Browning, and I love it, but just nothing compares to my Fronchi.
You could keep those damn Brownings. Your whole family loves them. I know it.
They do.
Yeah, I know. There was one that was going to wind up in the cow pond, and your brother saved its life. So, or your dad saved his life. So, no, I don't. No, not a Browning fan. But so you shoot you shoot Franchi. They're good guns though. What do people have against Franchis?
I said I don't know that I've
I
ever
don't
heard
know.
anyone
That's
say a
what I
bad
think.
thing against a Frankie.
I don't know. I like them. I mean, they're a good shooting gun.
I say
They're
they're
really good
like
shooting gun.
actually reasonably priced, unlike most things these days, and they
Yeah.
actually work, unlike most things
Yeah.
these days. Like,
Yeah.
what is there to hate about it?
Yeah, I don't
Exactly.
know.
I've never had any issues with mine.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody else is struggling with that.
Knock
Yeah, there you go. But I mean, you get the folks that are out there and they've got, the super Black Eagle
I
threes.
say
and
that's what it
fours and-
is. That's the only complaint anybody has is Kamryn, but it's not a Super Black Eagle 3.
Yeah.
But it is. It's the same gun made by the same people. It just
Yeah.
has a different name on it.
Branded as a different name.
But whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Go pay $3,000 for that one. I'm gonna keep this
Yeah.
one.
I don't know. I mean, look, if you got it like that and that's what you want to spend your money on, great. But I don't see a problem with that gun at all. It's not a Browning, which makes me happy.
It's not a Versa
I'm good with
Max,
that.
which is even better.
Oof, yeah, that's not okay. Benny is a massive Versamax hater. Massive.
Hate that damn gun.
Yeah.
Hate that gun. That's the
And
first.
Rios.
It's the first
I don't like
shotgun.
Rios either.
The first shotgun I bought, and had absolutely nothing but problems with it. Nothing but problems with it. It had a warped barrel from the factory. Got that fixed finally. And then I was hunting with it up here in Virginia, and the whole thing just came apart out on the river. The charging handle came out of the gun and went flying off into the river. So then I had no way of getting the shells out of the gun. I'm like, dude, this thing's a freaking piece of work. I'm getting rid of this joker. Hate it.
Yeah, that's Benny and his.
Did you sell it? Did you give it to somebody else for it to pull down?
I sold it to a buddy for $400.
Oh, that's not a good friend. He hates you now.
Dude, the gun was worth $8.
Yeah, but I see how you do friends now.
They're
You see that,
garbage.
right, Cam?
He
Right,
wanted
Cameron?
it.
Yeah. So if he
I
ever
was
tries
trying
to
to-
sell you a gun, no, there's something wrong with it.
Right?
I was trying to take it to a pawn shop.
Oh
And then my
God.
buddy was like, well, how much do you want for it? I was like, dude, I'll sell it to you for $400. And he's like, all right, here you go. Okay, bud.
All right. So
I
he
had
was a
already-
willing
I had-
participant.
I had fixed it. I had put a new charging handle and all kinds of crap on it. But yeah, no.
You don't have
Never
good luck.
again.
He doesn't have good luck with guns to begin with. I
What do you
mean,
mean?
like your retake. What happened to your retake?
Okay, that was my fault. 100%. That was my fault. I
Heard that, right?
I decided to go hunt the eastern shore of Maryland, which is all tidal saltwater marsh. And on the way back, I don't even know how big that kayak is. It's like a 10-foot kayak, maybe. It's small. And I had my blind bag, my shotgun, not in a case, 2 dozen decoys, a spinning duck, and something else tied up to it. And I'm rolling back down this little cookie cutter ditch back to the parking lot. And I get back to the parking lot and I go to get out. And the water was a lot deeper than I thought it was going to be. And so I rolled the kayak, went completely under the water, flipped the kayak back over. And, of course, the only thing that had fallen out of the kayak was my shotgun. And so I started digging around in the mud and found it buried 6 inches under the mud. And I picked it up out of the water, took it and kind of shook it back and forth in the water, took a cattail and shoved that down the barrel to clear the mud and sand out of it, and ran 3 shells through it and was like, yep, it's good enough. And then hunted it the rest of the day. And then miraculously, doesn't make any sense to me, everything inside the gun rusted and broke. Which I don't know how that happened. That's weird.
When did you clean that gun?
Well, I cleaned it that night, but I didn't take it all the way apart. I took the barrel off the receiver and clean that stuff, but I didn't take the buffer tube apart or the magazine tube or any of that stuff. So both of those springs were rusted and ruined. So it stopped cycling, and yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. So what did I do? Went and bought another one. Love it.
This is my friend. This
Love
is
it.
poor choices. Poor choices in life.
Thankfully, reached out to Rite. They have, I think, the most amazing customer service ever. They sent me all new parts for the gun. Like I basically, other than the barrel and the receiver, there is not an original piece in that shotgun. And they were just like, "Oh, this happened? Okay. What's your address? We're gonna send you all new stuff." I was like, "What? How much is that gonna cost me?" The dude was just like, "All right, it should be there like Wednesday." And I was like, "Okay, hell yeah." So now that one's brand new again. I got a second one, and I don't know, man. They work. They shoot.
Yeah.
What was the first thing you said after shooting mine, Mikey?
All right, I gotta say. All right, so we were out. What was that? Was it last Saturday?
Sunday.
Sunday. All right, so this past Sunday, we were out, and there's 4 people in the duck blind, and on the left side we had a good set come in on geese, and they came in, and I mean we decided, two of the folks decided, it was John and Ronald there, decided that they were gonna try it.
We were like, screw it, try them.
Yeah, and they did, and they smoked 2 geese. Well, they took one goose down, and then they had a cripple on the other one. So me and Benny go out in the boat to go get the second geese, and I picked up his Rite, and I'm not gonna say that I didn't like it. It shoots really nice. It does. It shoots really nice. But anyway,
I was like, shoot that joker. And he shoulders that gun, pulls the trigger, boom, turns around and goes, damn, where's this thing been my whole life? That thing shoots nice.
Yeah,
I was like,
it did.
I've been telling you
Yeah,
that
it
for
did.
like a year now, Mike.
He has. So anyway, so back to you. We have been neglecting our guests tonight. So anyway, so you're into duck hunting. Are you doing more calling now? Have you gotten that down, or is you relying on your dad, or relying on dad? Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. I'm not even going to lie to you. I refuse to pick one up because, I'm still a daddy squirrel at heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just.
He would teach you. He would teach you,
Oh, absolutely. He tries to get me to learn how to do it all the time, and I just refuse to do it. I know he won't be around forever, but my dad is my hunting partner. You know that. My dad, that's my hunting partner. He is not allowed to go duck hunting without me. So I'm like, see, that's my excuse. I can never go without him because I can't call my own ducks. So it's fine. No, you asked me what I loved about duck hunting.
Yeah.
And I have to say that's one of the things I think that really gets me. And I guess this is my sentimental side. Going back to my dad, I love duck hunting because my dad doesn't deer hunt with me a whole lot anymore because I am a big girl now, so I do go by myself sometimes. But with duck hunting, my dad is always there, and my dad obviously taught himself, like probably most people do, to duck call, and that was like a huge accomplishment for him. Like, he was over the moon about it, and I have to say, I get more excited sitting in the blind watching my dad call them, and the feeling, like seeing his face when he calls them in, and he's like, he'll look at me and he'll be like, "Worm, like I just called them in. Like, did you see that? Like, that was badass." Like, I don't know. I guess it's just that feeling, like seeing him, like knowing how proud he is of himself. Like, it's just fun. I love that.
Yeah. And if you knew if anybody knew your dad, you'd understand that that man is the most humble human being on the planet until you start talking about fish, and then that's a different story. But he is the most humble human being on the planet. But when you see him and he's called in a set, and you just you destroyed some greenheads or whatever happened to come in, and you look down at the end of the blind and you can see him, he got that grin on him.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's cool though. I think that's awesome. That's a great way to kind of look at it, I think. And it's it's truly impressive that you, number one, you've got that relationship with your dad. And you have a support structure that is amazing. I mean, you truly do. You've got, so you're also a mama. So, we kind of talked a little bit about that, but to two kids, two youngins that are just absolutely amazing. And they're truly loved by so many people. But you get to go hunting because of this support structure. So tell us a little bit about that. How do you manage to do that, as a mama and getting out there and doing your thing?
So I could not hunt if I didn't have the family that I did. So we're obviously a big family. It's me and my mom and my dad, my stepdad, and then my little brother Kobe, and then I have two boys now, a 4-year-old and a 10-month-old. So obviously when you have kids, you don't have free time like you used to. So it makes things a little bit more complicated. We dog hunt here in Alabama, in Flumaton. So that's a little bit easier to, you can just load them up in the truck and take them with you when it comes to that. My mom and my dad, they both, I couldn't hunt at all if it wasn't for neither one of them. My mom, she's my backbone when it comes to that. She is not a traveler, but she is the first to say, all right, let's go. Like, I'll go with you to watch the kids for, so you can go hunt. Actually, funny story. I had my 10-month-old in November. And so I didn't get to go hunting in Kansas in November. I always go November, December. So having my baby obviously kind of messed my hunting season up a little bit.
You need to plan better next time.
I know. What was I thinking?
Mm-hmm.
It actually worked out in my favor a little bit. I didn't get to go in November, but December rolls around, and I look at my mom, and I'm like, what could I do to convince you, for me, you, and the boys, load up, and let's go to Kansas, like a week early before everybody else gets there? And my mom's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, like, me, you, and the boys, let's go. Like, I can get an extra week of hunting in. Like, I'm on maternity leave, so see, it did work out in my favor a little bit. So me and my mom, my brand spanking new baby, and my 3-year-old at the time loaded up, packed up my dad's truck, and took our butts right on to Kansas. And I slept in the morning for the most part. I got up 1 or 2 mornings, but my mom literally would drop me off, and I'd walk out and I'd go hunt in the afternoons, and she'd sit there and watch both of my kids so that I could go sit in a deer stand and come back up. So when my mom goes and sits with me when we go hunting too. So on the afternoons when me and my mom do not kill anything when we go hunt, because when me and my mom hunt, it's kind of like hunting with my 3-year-old. Like, we have a good time. Like, it's more of just the quality time. We'll be sitting up there talking. I don't know why we see anything, because we'll be laughing and joking and just living our best lives. So when we do that, in order for us to be able to do that, my dad watches the boys. So he usually scouts in the afternoons for ducks. So he'll take the boys and load them up in the truck and go drop me and mom off, and he'll ride around, and boys ride with him, and we go hunt. So I truly do have the best support system. Like, I couldn't do it without them.
That's pretty
They're
cool.
amazing.
Oh yeah. I know your mom. She is awesome. Your whole family's awesome. So now, you've gotten into this thing. When you going to take Taters out and let him, he's getting he's 4, right? He said 4.
Yes. And I'm so excited for this hunting season, because he's all about it this year. I don't know, like, what has hit, maybe because he's older and he kind of understands it a little bit more, but he is so ready. He tells my dad, he calls him Pawpaw. He's like, Pawpaw, I'm gonna go shoot them ducks. I'm gonna go shoot them deer. So he is, like, ready. He'll be out in the yard wanting to shoot squirrels and whatever. He's so excited for this year. So he has actually been, I took him hunting for the first time. He was 2. So not last hunting season, but the season before that. I took him for the first time in the hunting stand that Mr. Mike got me. And it was definitely interesting, for sure. He had his iPad. He had no earthly idea what was going on. But me being selfish, I wanted to be the first one to take him hunting. You know, I didn't want his daddy to be the first one to take him hunting. So I was like, I don't care if he watches his iPad the whole time. Like, I'm going to be the first one to take him hunting.
There
So
you go.
we loaded up, and it was, anybody who has kids know that it's like moving anywhere you go with a kid because they have so much that you have to take with them. So here I am, little old me, trying to tote my kid. I got my backpack, I got my crossbow, I got his iPad, I got a blanket, a heater. I mean, it was more work to get out to the stand. And we stayed out there for probably 20 minutes, and he was over it. He was done with it. He was ready to go. He was bored. He's, throwing stuff out the windows. He's yelling at the birds. So
That's awesome.
it was definitely a trip to remember.
Yeah.
Last
But you'll
year,
remember it.
Oh, absolutely. So he only went once that year.
Right.
Last year, I think I took him twice, and his daddy took him once. And last year he was kind of, wanted to watch, wanted to look in his binoculars. Of course, he has his finger binoculars, that he's
There
like,
you
Mama,
go.
Mama, I don't see no deers. Where are the deers at?
There you go.
That was the new thing this year. Where are the deers at? Why aren't they coming out?
That's it.
So it was a little bit better. He watched his iPad. You have to have something to keep him quiet. Otherwise, he will talk your head off. Why is there birds outside? Why is there trees over there? Why is there sand on the ground?
Yep.
Dude, it sounds like going hunting with me.
Yep. Yep.
I just sit there and play on my phone and look around. And
Yeah.
gotta have
Can't go wrong
snacks.
with the binoculars,
Yeah.
know.
Gotta
You
have
can't.
snacks.
Yeah,
something
you
to
can't take
drink,
Benny in the
and
woods without snacks.
I'll be
I mean, it's
throwing
just the way it
something.
Oh,
goes.
absolutely.
Mhm.
You gotta have the little Debbies.
Oh, duh. Yeah.
Oh, start
It
Starter
lures
for
them
the
in. I
wind.
think they can smell it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. For sure. And you need
But
the
yeah,
sweet and
so
spicy
hopefully
too.
this year.
You got to have that soaked into you as well, sweet and spicy. So.
Absolutely.
Oh man, that's so good place. Anyway,
I know. You got me all excited now thinking about sweet and spicy.
right?
What the hell?
I mean,
What is a sweet and spicy?
Oh, all right. So,
Educate
You
me.
want to tell him? You can tell him, Cam.
So where we hunt at is this little bitty town. It's amazing because there's probably, 150 people in it. They literally have the Sweet and Spicy, which is a little restaurant, Toots, which is an even smaller little restaurant, a pizza place, a grocery store, a hardware store, and a pharmacy that's all combined. And that's literally all that's there.
Nice.
So the Sweet and Spicy, the sweetest lady you will probably ever meet, Miss Connie. She owns it. And they serve literally any kind of food you can imagine in there. But that's like your go-to place. Like when you're sitting in the blind or you're hunting, you're like, all right, it's time to go to the Sweet and Spicy and get some breakfast.
Yeah. That used to be the trick for Kobe. Like when Kobe was in the duck blind, it was to get him to stay just a little bit longer. It's like, well, Miss Connie's got you she's gonna have some pancakes, ready for you. You just everything's gonna be fine. We'll get some pancakes. You get him talking about the sweet and spicy and pancakes, and he was set. So
Yeah.
now and sweet and spicy, Miss Connie, it kind of second to that is that there's that lady is truly an amazing human. And I say that because when I was out there for Thanksgiving, she would put on an entire Thanksgiving for this town. They didn't pay a thing. It was based off of donations and her money and her, everything. And she would bring and feed everybody in that town. And for Thanksgiving dinner, and it didn't matter if you were brand new to that town or if you had been there for 55 years, you could walk in and you could get whatever she happened to, and it was a spread. I mean, it was a spread. So, not just that, but she makes some of these amazing donuts that are
I
just
say Zachary Payne just commented and said, "Don't forget the donut holes."
for sure. And that's it. I mean, the sweet and spicy. I mean, you go in there and guaranteed, if you're not wearing camouflage, you probably feel out of place. You know, there's
Oh, that's my
Absolutely.
kind of place.
yeah. And it's a whole family thing. Like, I mean, she's got her daughters there, and she's got every grandkids there, and so it's the town. I think it's kind of what kind of it, small town life is really about. If you go in there and you drink coffee first thing in the morning, or get a donut if they haven't sold out of your favorite donut, which she normally does really quick.
Yes.
And the donut hole, the donut holes go by so fast, it's ridiculous. So, but no, it's just it's small town, and if you needed something, somebody's going to ask you, hey, can I help you? And so that's who she is, though. She's just absolutely amazing human. So anyway, so that, and it's also a good treat to get Kobe to continue to stay in the duck blind just a little bit longer so you could get some of the pancakes. He was little for that one. So anyway, so we're going back, and so obviously we talked about duck hunting. What kind of hunting trips you got planned this year? You don't have to tell us when you're going, but rough estimates. How many trips you got planned?
I've only got 2 planned this year. Work kind of didn't allow me any more for this year, but I've got about a week and a half trip. I got a week trip in October and about a week and a half trip in November.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. Might try to sneak in a weekend trip.
That's the way to do it. And
take what you get sometimes.
That's it. There you go. That's what it's about. Take what you can get, for sure. And if I don't forget, I already told you this once, but I'm going to tell you again, so I don't get yelled at or anything, but somebody said that your yellow dog misses you like crazy. So I said it. I didn't forget to say it. I told you I'd say it. So, your yellow dog is missing you like crazy. So,
yes,
we got that out there.
So
we're going into.
Kobe
go
just
ahead.
said. Kobe just said that ain't the trick no more. So he must be. He got something better in mind to keep him in the blind than the donut holes now, I guess.
Yeah, I think Kobe's kind of grown out of that youngin phase, so now he's more into the hunting phase. So
shoot, man, what? That's like, dude, I guide, and that's like 90% of the reason I'm there is for a freaking Unky Trap breakfast sandwich. But
well, no, hold on, wait, we're not high speed like you are.
Hey, man,
we don't have breakfast in the blind. We don't do that.
See, we got to change that. We can fix that.
Oh,
that can be fixed.
We can.
That's easy.
So Kamryn, this is what high end hunting looks like. Is
I wouldn't
they bring
call it high end, but
they bring the Blackstone into the blind and cook for you.
Oh, that's for sure high end.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, it's
that's
mostly
like some bougie stuff right there.
Yes, exactly.
It's mostly cooking for ourselves. We just we can't make ourselves a breakfast sandwich if we don't make a client a breakfast sandwich. So it turns into a whole spread of bacon and eggs. And dude, the big hit last year was pancakes. That was a power move last year. The little shaker Bisquick bottles of pancake.
Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah.
Pour a little bottle of water in there. Throw it on the Blackstone. Shit.
Oh, yeah, man. That's
Power
the way to
moves.
go.
Power moves.
That's the way to go. See, that's high end. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
High
When
end.
you said Blackstone, they take the Blackstone.
Yes.
The duck blind, that was when I was like, oh, yeah, they bougie.
Yes.
Like,
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Kobe said he just has the mindset that he kills it more than anyone else out there. So that's what keeps him in the blind now.
Wow.
He talks a big game.
Hey, I respect that.
He does. He talks a big game.
Hey, he can back it up. He can back it up. I give him that.
I don't know. He can't back it up when my wife's in the blind. When my wife's in the blind, you ask her, how many of them ducks you kill? All of them. All of them.
Right.
How many did you shoot? How many times you shoot?
Every
None.
single one of them.
I know a lot of people like that.
Well, the funny part about that is, and here's what's really funny is, Joey Brock decided that was the move, right? So here's my wife who was all in on this. Yeah, I shot them all. And then I had to explain to her when we went hunting somewhere else that you don't say that somewhere else, because when the game warden comes up and checks you, you don't say that. You didn't shoot them all.
Nope.
You shot your limit. So she learned real quick about, I mean, keep in mind, I mean, Allie had never been duck hunting in her life. And so she learned a lot about duck limits and federal stamps.
There's some jokes you keep for inside the blind.
Yes.
Versus outside.
Right. That was one of them. That was one of them. Yeah.
I mean, you learned that one real quick. Say that one to the wrong person. That's a lesson that you
let's
learned
pay that
real
federal
fast.
fine.
Well, I mean, you pay it, so it's shit. I'd say it too.
Oh yeah, $360 later. No, I'm joking.
Kobe said he kills way more than his sister every single hunt.
Oh,
I'm starting a war. Let's go.
Hold on. I can tell you right now. I remember when this little one who's on this podcast right now was taking care of that little one in the duck blind, saying, "Let me load your gun. Hold on." No, I remember it's Kobe, the Stone Cold Killer. We were hunting.
Yes.
Oh my God. That was funny. That was too funny. You remember that, Kamryn?
Yes.
So I'll let you tell it, or I can tell it. It's up to you. But
you tell it.
All right. So we're out there and we're hunting on these cornfields, and it was we had a good setup, kind of sitting on the edge of the woods, and I mean it was good hide, and we'd brushed in, everything's great.
Hold on real quick. Kobe said, "Wait, do we have to bring this up?"
Oh, we do. Oh, we do. Oh, we most certainly do. And so here's Kobe. He's got a 410, I think, wasn't it? It was 410.
Yes.
All right. So, and he was proud of this 410, brand new. I mean, just proud of this 410. And I would be too. I mean, it's a nice gun.
Yeah.
And Kamryn kind of got designated as taking care of her little brother, right, in the blind. And so she would make sure that his gun was loaded and he wasn't doing stupid stuff. And when he acted up, she would get on his ass, and I mean, the whole 9 yards. And this geese came in. It was evening hunt. These geese came into this field, and I mean, we just unloaded on them. And we had one that hit, and he's crippled. And he comes down, and this thing jumps up and starts after. I mean, he's running the opposite direction down this field. And somebody said, "Let Kobe get him." Kobe goes to running, boy. I mean, just booking it across this cornfield fast as his little legs could take it, man. And it was the fun. I got pictures of it. I'll send you the pictures, and it's the funniest thing in the world. But here's Kobe just booking it for everything he's worth, right? And they said, "Kill him, shoot him." And this goose is hauling ass. I mean, as fast as he can, getting away from Kobe. He's sitting there, and finally you see Kobe and I think it was you or your daddy, one of you was sitting there and, shoot him. And he comes up, and that duck just rolls, and he's a stone cold killer right there. So and I mean that goose just rolled. I mean, just rolled him, and I was like, all right, that's that Brock blood in him right there.
That's what he just said. They used to call me Latin McQueen back in the day. Kobe is speed.
He is. That kid was moving though. So
see, that reminds me of like one of the first hunts I was ever on, or like one of the first ones I remember. We were hunting Lake Taneycomo in Missouri, and we shot this green wing teal, and it sailed to like 90 yards outside the decoys. Of course, I'm the youngest one there. I don't remember how old I was. I was probably 13-ish. They're like, "Hey, go pick up that bird." I'm like, "All right." So I'm walking out there, and man, I'd get to like 40 yards, and it jumps up and flies like 30 and sits back down. So now it's back to like 80, and I'm like, "Shit." All right, I just keep on walking towards it. Dude, I could not get within 60 yards of this freaking bird. I'm trying to shoot it at like 70 on the, shooting them on the water, which doesn't do anything. At 70 yards, good luck. I'm covering it up. Dude, I had to have shot that bird 12 freaking times sitting on the water. And I'd shoot it and I'd be like, all right, cool. And I'd take off running to try to get up close to it. And it'd take up, jump, fly 30 yards and sit back down. I'm like, you motherfucker. Dude, I chased that bird for like 45 minutes. I'll never forget that. That was the most miserable I have ever been on a duck hunt. And I finally get it, and I turn around, and I'm like 600 yards from the blind. And it's like,
oh, good God.
it's like waist deep water, like knee deep mud, like just miserable. And then had to walk all the way back across. It was like a big like bay in this lake, and had to walk all the way back to the boat. Oh my God, it sucked. It sucked. But hey, you know, that's what the young kids are for, right?
Absolutely.
That's what we
Yeah.
use them for.
Yes.
Because we've done it. It's kind of like the rite of passage, I think.
Oh, you have to.
You got to embrace the suck.
Yeah.
You know, it's part of it. It's a good time.
Well, no, it's not.
It's a good time for me.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because, you know, out in Kansas, they hunt a lot of cow ponds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I've done that.
I would venture to tell you that I tend to forget my waders a lot.
You
a lot.
chicken shit.
Oh, you have no idea.
Dude,
I have watched more people get into that thing. I mean, guides, not guides, your daddy, everybody. Somebody's falling over and getting the
Absolutely.
and it's cold. I mean, it's just miserable. You're throwing ducks out, and then you got, you know, once you get them out there and you've fallen in, now you got to go get them back at some point during the day. I forget my waders a lot.
The best part about those kettle ponds that I learned last year? It's not mud.
Oh no.
You're not stuck in the mud.
No,
That ain't
fertilizer.
what that is. Oh yeah,
That's fertilizer.
That's something you can call it.
Yeah,
Dude, we were out there in Kansas last year, and I shot that widgeon. It was the first widgeon I ever shot in my life. I was so excited for
it was
that.
last year. You know,
Last
keep that in
year.
mind. He's a guy.
Yeah, last year.
And his first widgeon was
the
last
first
year.
widgeon I'd ever shot. I'm sitting there, and we're out there with a bunch of buddies, and I was kind of taking it as just like, hey, I'm guiding. You know, they're not paying to be out there on a guided hunt, but I'm going to guide it. And I'm sitting there, and we had shot a couple birds, and I see this widgeon locked up coming in from like 300 yards out. And I hear him whistling and stuff, and I'm like, dude, I think that's a widgeon. That was the one bird that I had told everybody. That was the only bird I wanted to kill out there. That's the only thing I care about. And I see this widgeon coming, and I'm like, I'm not saying a damn thing about this. I didn't call. I didn't move. I'm laying in my ground blind, completely still, just staring at it. And finally, it gets to like 25 yards. I jump up, shoot, and just smoke it. And everyone else is like, oh my God, like freaking out. Like, what the hell was that? Why'd your gun go off? I was like, dude, I just shot a widgeon. And our buddy Bobo, I hope he's watching. I know he usually watches them each week. And he's like, dude, can I go get it? I was like, what? He's like, can I go get it for you? I was like, oh, dude, hell yeah. Because I know walking through that's going to suck. So, like, yeah, if you want to do it, like, right on, dude. Yeah, have at it. And he comes back with it. He gets over to it. I don't think I'll ever forget. He gets over to it and picks it up. And he's like, dude, this thing is awesome, from the other side of the pond. And I'm like, oh, yes. I was like, oh, it's going to be really expensive because that's going on my wall. But, yeah, super excited about that. And yeah, he got back over with this. And, dude, I was speechless. I love those damn birds. They're my favorite bird to shoot. Well, they're my favorite bird. I've only ever shot one. They're my favorite duck. They're so pretty. Love them.
Keep in mind, he's never stood up in a Kansas blind and saw 100 greenheads sitting, 50 greenheads staring right at him, all locked up and ready to just go.
I just did that in Missouri.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Same difference. Flooded
Nobody cares.
cornfield.
You hear this, right?
shoot your limit of mallards by like 7
We're here to
o'clock.
talk to Kamryn, not about your hunting stories.
Hey, you brought it up, man. You keep wanting to brag about Kansas.
Yeah, this is about me, okay?
Yeah, there you go. See? 2-1. Now you gotta
Yeah.
be quiet.
All right, fair enough. I'm just gonna mute my mic.
Yeah, no, he won't. Oh, there he goes. Now he's just being a jerk. No.
Oh shoot.
So we're coming up on, obviously you're going to do a lot of deer hunting. do you have solid plans for duck hunting this year, or what, are you just going to try to get it in when you go out, or what's the plan?
Yeah, pretty much. Nothing really planned. I'd like to, like I said, if I could squeeze a trip in on a weekend, maybe try something. But I do plan on trying to do some duck hunting around here, which will be the first year that I've ever really duck hunted around here. So we'll see how that goes. I'll have to keep y'all updated on it though.
All right. And who knows? If your dad would take us up on an offer, he'd y'all can come up and we'll get you in the blinds with Ramrod Outfitters, and y'all shoot some East Coast ducks. And it's not nearly as, I won't say it's not as good. It is as good. It's just way, way different. Way different.
It's all about timing.
It is.
That's really what screws us here is the timing. If you don't have the right weather or you don't have that fresh push of birds, you're screwed.
Yep.
I mean, last year we had a big push in like the first week of December, and we had those birds through the end of the season, which was brutal.
Yeah, it means you don't have a lot of good shooters.
God, it was, yeah. Well,
I'm joking.
You're saying the quiet part out loud, Mikey.
I'm joking. So
yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. So what's the big plan? What you gonna do? Obviously, you got a real job, but what's the end goal? I mean, when you're gonna get your kids out there, obviously you got a 10-month-old. You're gonna be the first one to take him hunting too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, cool.
You happen to see me on the news. You might not have went with me first.
There you go.
I actually did take him dog hunting. He did go dog hunting.
That's cool.
At 10 months old? Oh, I guess before that?
He would have been fresh.
Whoa.
Then.
Yeah.
He would have been like a month or so, I think, when I took him.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Welcome to the Brock legacy, man.
He was only a month old. We were riding around Kansas in his little bear suit. He looked like an Eskimo all wrapped up. We're riding around putting stands and stuff out.
Oh my God.
Ain't no rest for the wicked.
Yep. Ain't no rest for the wicked. So
but no, hopefully I think in November I'm gonna try to take Case with us when we go and hopefully get him out there. So
that'd be cool.
He's been shooting his little BB gun, so
right.
We haven't quite mastered anything else just yet, but
that's all right. It's all right. No, so you're gonna get hunting, you're gonna get, you're gonna shoot all the ducks this year. You're gonna shoot the biggest deer, right?
Oh, absolutely.
There you go. Now before we go, I think we're getting close to time, aren't we?
We are.
All right. Before we go, you're not a big tree stand hunter.
No, I'm not.
Why aren't you a big tree stand hunter? I mean, you're a good ground blind hunter, right? I mean, I'd say you're exceptional, right?
I'm probably the best you will ever see.
There you go. There you go.
I've mastered the ground blind.
Absolutely. But you don't get into tree stands that often. I mean, it's just not your cup of tea, right?
No, sir. I have to say, I have gotten better. It just takes me a little time. So
you're not a big fan of height, right?
Oh no. And it's only tree stands. It's just tree stands. I can ride roller coasters all day long. That kind of stuff don't bother me. When I was, I don't know, about 7, me and my cousin Mallory, of course, little turds getting into everything, in the back of my pawpaw's house, he lived in Flumiton in a subdivision, had this redneck tree stand rigged up in this tree. And when I say redneck, it was literally, I'm pretty sure it was like supposed to be like a climber, and it was up there, but it was 2x4s nailed into this tree.
Hell yeah.
And I don't know, probably 30 foot big tree in the backyard. So of course it was only about 22 feet up in the air. Me and Mallory decided that we're going to climb up this. Well, of course I had to go first. So we get all the way to the top, and I make my last step, and it was dry rotted. And the camera goes right on down. We had just moved furniture outside that my granny was getting rid of. So there was a couch, and this tree was massive. So it was like one of those that the roots, are all just everywhere out. I literally fell in between, like I was laying between the couch and a tree root. Like how I didn't die, I really don't know.
Oh my God.
Of course, I got up like nothing ever happened. So back then, all I really done was dog hunted with Dad. So I mean, I didn't think anything of it. So when I was about probably 12, maybe 10 ish, Dad takes me to go sit in a tree stand for the first time. And I'm excited, like I'm stoked. I'm going to kill a deer. I climb up in this tree stand and I'm literally sitting like this. And I'm like, I'm shaking. And I'm like, I look at my dad. He's like sitting next to me. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm not okay. Like, I can't do this. Like, I told my dad, it wouldn't have mattered if something come out because I wasn't letting go. I mean, I'm holding on for dear life. And at that moment, I realized that I am terrified of tree stands, apparently. So it's like a new kid learning every year when hunting season starts up. It's like I have to relearn how to get in a tree stand all over again. So I've gotten better, but I still climb up, and when I sit down, I have to do the whole. Okay, Kamryn, you're fine. You're fine. We're not gonna die today. You are good.
You need one of
And
them
Lord
big
forbid someone
rednecks.
sit with me. Lord forbid someone sit with me, because when they're climbing up in that tree stand, it's kind of doing like this. I'm going,
Oh, hell no.
oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die today.
This is it. This is the day.
This is it.
I said you need to get one of them big redneck blinds. Those
She's
things are
got a blind.
the big, like the fiberglass, like elevated things. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but she's got one. She's got one of the millennial buckruts.
Yeah, those things are.
Yeah.
You still
those
scared to
things will
climb
kill
up in
you.
that thing? Shoot.
No, those things are great until you have to move them, or you have to build them, or you have to
Or you have
put
to
them up,
or you shoot out of them, and you're
Yeah.
blind for like, or not blind, Jesus, deaf for like 45 minutes afterwards.
Yeah.
They're nice
But
though. They're nice to hang
oh,
out
those
in.
buckruts are awesome. They're I've never hunted out of one, but I've heard they're really nice. So
Yes, the millennials are very nice. I can speak very highly of them.
yeah.
Thanks to a very, very generous man.
But so now, all right, so you're going out, you're gonna do the hunting, you're gonna bring the children, and obviously your mom's gonna watch the children's, and you got your dad who's playing grandpa now, and I think that's probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen is to watch that man turn into a grandpa is just it's truly amazing. Him and I have got to hunt together, and I guess we're going to bring you along with us up at Legends at some point as soon as he tells me when he wants to go. So we'll go up to Legends and shoot a monster buck up there. But so you got all these great things. You hunt, you fish, you're outdoors, you got kids, what's something, I mean, obviously there's other parents who are trying to figure this stuff out. There's moms out there who want to hunt. What do they need to do? What's the biggest thing? Obviously you've got the Brock legacy and the name and all that stuff. And you've got you've got that, but there's a lot of other females who want to get out there and hunt. And, between you and Sierra and, my wife and, a ton of other, ladies who like to get out there and get at it. What's the thing? What do you got to look for? What is it that, excuse me, that people should be, females should kind of, what do they got to do? What's your advice to them?
Obviously, having a great support system is key for sure. And I know that a lot of people don't always have that. Everybody's situation is different when it comes to, I guess, their families and who is around and what they have going on at that time. I would probably say women who are married, it is perfectly okay to tell your husband that they can sit and watch the kids for you to go hunt.
There you go.
Amen.
That is absolutely perfectly fine. There is nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think at some point everybody needs a break. I mean, whether that's getting a babysitter, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. Like, women, I feel like can sometimes be, told that, you're the woman and you should be the one watching the kids all the time. And I don't feel like that's true. Get the babysitter. I mean, people get babysitters to have date nights. There's nothing wrong with getting a babysitter to go hunting. Like, it's no different. It's just making that time and finding what works for you and your situation and your family at that time. But do it. Don't let nobody tell you can't.
Yeah. And I think that's what's impressive like I said, I've watched you and Sierra grow up. Sierra's my niece, and she's again, another badass hunter. You and her are cut from the same cloth, and it's truly unique to see. And she's a mom now, so she's figuring it out as well. So, but it's good to see that it's not stopping or slowing down at all, because I can't imagine either one of y'all two not being in the woods. Not duck hunting, not in the blind, not fishing, and I think that's pretty cool. I really do. I think that's awesome.
You can always take them with you.
There you go. You won't see anything, but
yeah, you may not see or kill anything, but
Kobe said 1-800 call mom to babysit.
Oh man. Apparently your dad's trying to figure out how to watch this. So
he just got home.
Yeah.
We'll have it uploaded. It'll be uploaded to YouTube here.
Yeah, you have to teach him. You have to show it to him. All right. All right. So we're getting close. We're probably a little bit over. How are we been?
Just a touch over.
Cool. Not bad. Well, Kamryn, aka Worm, thank you so much for taking the hour out of your time today to sit down and talk to us. I have a lot of respect for you. I really do. It's so amazing to see you getting after it. Even before you had kids and getting after it. Now, you're doing the mom thing, and you've got, you're still, getting in the stands, getting in the woods, shooting ducks, spending time with family. And, I think it's absolutely amazing what you've turned into, watching as a young woman grow into what you are now. I'm super proud of you. I know your dad is, your mom is, Jake, everybody around, your whole family is super proud of you. So, keep that in the back of your head. Don't let your head get too much bigger, but thank you for spending the hour with us. And, hopefully we'll have you back on here, after you've gone hunting, and we can talk a little bit more about how your hunting trips went and all those wonderful things. And maybe next time we'll get some of the children's on, and,
absolutely,
that'd be kind of cool too.
That would be cool. They would love it.
Yeah. So how do people get a hold of you? How do they find you? Maybe you don't want them to.
Yeah. I may not want people to find it. No, I'm just kidding. I am not a big popular person. I do have a Facebook. You can find me on Facebook.
Right.
And then I think you tagged my Instagram. I'm not gonna lie, don't expect a whole lot from me because I am a mom.
There you go.
I am terrible when it comes to posting. So I do try to post when I get a chance. It's usually just a gigantic photo dump. But yeah, absolutely. If you want to get in touch with me, you can find me on Facebook. Anybody who knows you can reach out to you. You have my number or whatever. So.
That's awesome.
Thank y'all so much for having me on. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So was it as bad? Yeah. Was it as bad as you thought it was going to be?
No.
All right.
Not at all. I feel so much better now.
Kobe said he wants to be on here next time with his sister. I think
we can do that.
I think we can do that pretty easy.
We can make that happen. No problem. Yeah, absolutely. So the other thing too is that, we've got, you got a lot going on. You got a lot of stuff that's here, there, and yonder, but Keep us up to date. Send us some pictures. If you get in the blind, make sure you get us some pictures and all that wonderful jazz. So I think that's going to be, we'll make sure we post that stuff up there and tag us in it.
Absolutely.
All right. So I got to ask you the one question everybody always says.
Okay.
So we spent an hour here. Did you think, was it as long or as short, or did you think it was an hour, or what'd you think?
No, it went by so fast.
Yep. Everybody says that. So,
Yeah.
Normally it's after the podcast, but we get a lot of people who, might be a little nervous. So, next time, if, don't be nervous. It's a good time. So
it is. It's been a great time.
Good deal. All right, Benny, what you got, my friend?
I don't know, dude. I'm just goofy. That's all I know. That was fun. Kamryn, thank you so much for giving us an hour of your time. And hopefully, I'd really like to do one in person, whether that's in Kansas or come up to Virginia and we'll duck hunt here, or
yes,
record another episode, or at least get out on a hunt together. I think it'd be a good time. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, y'all messed up because you've been trying to schedule stuff with Dad. I'm the manager here, so you got to reach out to me first.
Fair enough.
I'll make it happen.
There you go.
Fair enough.
Now we know.
Now you know.
Cool.
Right on. Well, that's all I got. Mikey, you got anything else?
I'm good. Let's hear that outro there.
Right
Benny.
on. Kamryn, thank you again. And
thank you.
We'll see everyone next week. See you.
You've been listening to The Hunting Quest. No matter how crazy, high-tech, or lazy the rest of the country gets, we will always be hunting and fishing. If that's you, you've found your new family. Thanks for listening to the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. Reach out to us by email at info@thehuntingquest.com. And check us out on Instagram and YouTube at The Hunting Quest. See you next time.